Alright, let's go and stop Hades. Have a quick rattler, because let's try and use that.
They're alive.
Aloy! It's Aloy! Well, you can see that.
Exactly.
We thought you'd fallen at the ridge.
No such chance.
No, the ridge fell on me. Look, there isn't a lot of time left. I have to face Hades.
Not alone.
It's my fight. I can't ask you to come with me.
Oh, Talana
We're
will.
about to go over the top anyway, right? Right.
Hawk and Thrush, let's go.
Talana was
I
do
should
it
stock
anyway.
up. Last chance.
Imagine. Alright. Wait, how are we getting up there again? I genuinely do not. Wait. Oh, I see what's going on here. I was like, what the hell? How are we getting up there? That makes some more sense now. Oh, I knew it was coming, and there's Hades, and there's Minerva. Oh, ho, ho, ho. We're gonna throw down. Let's do this.
Arrival of Entity has been anticipated. Entity will not halt transmission. To contrary, calculations are precise. Presence of Entity has been accounted for.
A Kopesh. Well, well, well.
Deathbringer.
Ooh, this thing's packing a punch. Oh, hang on, that's not. Get his armor out the way. Okay.
Watch it, Aloy! More machines!
Take them out first!
Okay. Oh shit! I've got Corrupty, where are you?
We've cleaned them out!
I think hard points would be quite appropriate for this moment. Finish it off.
Finish it, Aloy! Finish it now!
Let me just quickly grab stuff. Alright. Might as well. Just in case. Alright, Hades,
System
you're done.
threat imminent.
I'm more than a threat.
No kidding. Ah! That? Oh no, Sobek.
Master Override armed. To activate state name and rank.
Elizabeth Sobek. Alpha Prime.
Master Override activated. Purging Extinction Protocol.
Oh, wow. Oh. Wow. Oh. That was cool. Oh god. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. Just. He's gonna do the old pokers. It dead? It dead? So we just gonna leave it in there? Why? Okay. Where's Talana? Fair enough. Yes! Ha ha! Victory! Huh. Wow. Integrity restored. That. Okay.
Okay, Gaia. Sorry about that. Where was I?
You were telling a story.
Right. Yeah, so, like I was saying, it was a children's electronics kit, but I hacked the wiring to an auto battery and solar PV, so the grass caught fire. And, so
Oh,
did
dear.
a tall pine that had stood there, I don't know, maybe 100 years.
Query. You were how old?
6.
Oh wow. Okay.
My mother was home, thank God, so she called the fire department, and after, she took me out to the
wow.
lawn and showed me the dead baby birds, because there were
Oh.
nests in the pine tree.
Query. What did you feel?
I'm not sure. I remember yelling that I didn't care,
Oh, okay.
and that's when my mother took my face in her hands and spoke.
Query. What did she say?
Oh, that's her.
She said I had to care. She said, Elizabeth, being smart will count for nothing if you don't make the world better. You have to use your smarts to count for something. To serve life, not death.
You often tell stories of your mother, but you are childless.
I never had time. Guess it was for the best.
If you had had a child, Elizabeth, what would you have wished for him or her?
I guess I would have wanted her to be curious. And willful, unstoppable,
wow.
even. But with enough compassion to heal the world. Just a little bit.
That's lovely. Well, at least you got to be at peace back home. That's nice. It really is. What the hell is that? Is that some sort of trinket? Oh, it's a globe. A little atlas. Mini
Anyway,
atlas.
That's all I've got for now, Gaia. Time to tuck in.
I wish you a pleasant sleep, Elizabeth.
Thank you. I'll catch you tomorrow.
I wonder what the triangle's all about, to be honest, unless that was the original symbol, but I'm not sure what that's all about. Wow. Wow. Just so people, I'm gonna go right through the end of the credits. There's apparently an end of credits scene, so I don't really want to miss that if I can. What a game! You know, when I originally saw this game, it kind of came to me during this Let's Play that when I first saw the machines. I remember in the demo when I first saw like the machines, the tall necks, all this sort of thing. There's a lot of apprehension, you know, sort of like it's gonna be the game's gonna be a little too I suppose outrageous. You know, a bit. It was gonna be a bit more one of those, you know, things like, you know, what's the best way of putting this? Almost a little too linear, not so open world, very just overly outrageous in its concepts, and I think that kind of put me off at the time, as well as there were a bunch of other things, and there's also the games I was playing at the time as well. And it was only after, like, for the year or two and all that afterwards, I kept on hearing raving reviews from people about how much they loved the game, how incredible the open world, the characters, the textures, how they looked incredible. I mean, I'm seriously, if you gave me this game, right? If you would say at the beginning of this year, give me this game and ask me to play it, and if you had not told me that this was made 3 years ago, I would honestly believe that this game had been released this year. That is how damn good it looks. Not even kidding. For back in, I'm not saying there weren't some games back in 2007 that weren't look visually fantastic, but we've had games this year, just the ones I played, Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima, which visually looked incredible. This game is no exception. There are other games which didn't even come close to the visual magnificence that this did, and this really let you get truly immersed in the game. It was such a damn good game. It's one of those games, this is one of those proper open world massive games that I'm so glad I played, because in the end, I've seen gameplays in the last year, and it sort of reminded me of things like, oh, I need to play this, and I thought, let's see what all the fuss was about. Now I understand, and I agree with them. I'm on it. It is, oh man, it's such a good game. But I'm one of those types that I tend to see all the little things and some things that could have been, maybe should have been, all the goods and cons. So, you know, let me look. I suppose I think there could have been there could have been a bit more variety with certain things. There were times where it was a bit rhetoric with how things were done. You know, there wasn't the enemy variety. Like, I get there was a lot of enemies, but there weren't so much. They weren't so like, there were certain areas which did a good job at giving you 3 or 4 varieties. But then there are other enemies that, I don't know how it is on the hard and very hard and all that difficulties. It might be totally different, but, you know, I just thought it might be more interesting to see, because it had the Glinthawks, you have, say, you know, Ravagers, plus, you know, well, not rock breaks, but you get my point, just having a whole, like, in each of the areas where you have a big machine, you'd have at least another 3, if not 4 varieties of machines there to sort of make you rework your tactics. Now, I don't know, because I didn't experiment a whole bunch, so I'm not 100% sure, but from what I've seen, there wasn't a huge amount of combos available, which, especially with the melee, I would have thought there'd be more so. I mean, I get the whole thing with using your bow a lot, but we can also use the spear, and I think that would have been good to have combos available with the spear, if I'm honest. Um, oh, whoops. Bear with me. Ah. Something that I have mentioned at the beginning of this game, and I still maintain it. This game... Now, I understand that from the get-go about with, you know, fast travel in the original area with Nora. Okay, I get that. But at the same time, I'm also like... You know, maybe, just give me 1 second. Just so I can talk about this, the control doesn't disconnect on me. Which would be very much preferable. Just so I can talk about this. So, fast travel from that, from the moment you leave, like properly leave the area. I mean, I get they had the fast travel packs. You should have had unlimited fast travel from the moment that you exited the Sacred Lands. So the moment you went out the doors, you should have had fast travel indefinitely. You shouldn't have had to have fast travel packs. I don't care if you can find them. It's an open world. It's a massive open world game. Every other open world game I've ever played that, you know, it would be viewpoints. You've never needed to, not the games I've played a lot of open world games. You've never needed, and if you had needed fast travel, it was always the first thing, you always, in the first or second mission that was right at the beginning of the game, which gave you a checkpoint which meant you could unlock it. Which meant it was global fast travel. Other than that, fast travel has been infinite, has been unlimited in every other game I've played. You shouldn't have had to find a golden pack. That was a big downer for me, honestly. That really should have gone through there. Collectibles, there were a couple of exemptions to this, but in general, the little collectibles, look, when you're on a map that size and you're going to map where the collectibles are, you should actually have the ability, you should, where the little symbol is where it should be. Not, oh, there's a big circle, go and find it. I've said this before earlier in the game. It defeats the point of having a map saying, oh, that's the location. If you put a location, get a map, it should show you the actual locations of all of them. Like, there were a couple of exceptions to this, where it was basically where the symbol was, but most of it, you can't find it. Like, there's so much other stuff you can do in the game. You don't need to be wandering around half the time looking for those things, especially with a map. I get if there's a tool neck, if you unlock it through the tool neck and you see the icons of possible areas, sure, go and find it, because it's just general. But when you get a map, no, I'm sorry, they should have had them in the exact locations. You know, I don't think everyone's going to go and get them anyway, to be honest. Look, for all the weapons we had, we never could upgrade the spear, and we got mods that we could do spear damage. I think that we could have used that on the outfits, but there was plenty of other things we could use for the outfits. I think the spear damage would have been, I mean, okay, it may make it OP at times, but for a lot of people, would probably go with the bow damage, use the bow and other things like that, tripcast, all this, other than using the spear, so there wouldn't be a need for it. Or they might do interchange. I mean, I use both, as you saw, quite a lot in the game, as I saw fit with different tactics and or try different things. But in my opinion, there should have been availability to use mods for the spear, even if they were low level ones. Honestly, look, when we come, you know, when we had the weapon wheel and everything, and I know that each weapon had up to, especially as long as you got the shadow one, whatever, you could get 3, like, whether it be shock, blast, flame, whatever way, right? There were so many good weapons we could use in that game, There was a thing where, especially I remember in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where they had the multi-weapon wheel system, where you could switch between them because there were different abilities, and you could switch between one ability wheel. There were two ability wheels you could toggle between and select an ability from them. They should have had that with the weapons, because you should be able to have access to multiple types. Thanks for playing. Thanks for making it, Guerrilla Games. You did an awesome job. So, but seriously, they should have given us the ability to do more weapons, to have more weapons available to use at any one time. That would have been really good. So I'll skip to that if I get to the end of this, because there's an end of credit scene. So I do know that. So now something I did. Now I know this may sound a little bit like, oh, there was no real need in the end, but I think it would have been good to have unlimited inventory. And I know you're about to say, hang on a minute, but that would mean you just collect endless things. I hear you. What an idea that probably may have been shifted around with Guerrilla Guns, I don't know, but it would have been kind of nice if when you're doing a game like that, you had the inventory. I'm not saying when you have an unlimited inventory system or unlimited space, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is, instead of, as a compromise, say that with Blaze or Chill Water, you can say only have as many. Gonna have, say, no more than 300 of that resource at any one time. Do you know what I mean? Right? Or you couldn't have any more than 15 of the machine hearts. If you get what I'm saying, right? Or 10 or 15 of the machine hearts, for sake of example, right? Because it would mean you stock up, but it wouldn't give you, because it make you realize through time, oh, you've actually got to find these things and you got to stock up. But it means you could stock up and not ever have to. It just means you'd realize, oh yeah, I've got a limit of this much. But I can collect as many of these things as possible as I want, but as long as I don't go over that limit per item, you know, or unit limit per item. I know there's a better way of putting that, but yeah. So I can't collect more than 300 chill water, or 15 Watcher Hearts or stuff like that. I think that would be really good to have that limit and just give you unlimited inventory, because you just keep on collecting stuff as you need. You don't have to sort out stuff, because there's a whole bunch of other stuff you could sort out as well. I mean, and I also, and I know what this may say and almost sound playing as contrary to this, but I really like the fact that you had to upgrade a lot of your pouches for your weapons, your outfit, your potions, all that kind of stuff. You had to go and find, explore, and grab stuff. That was really cool. Which would really help with the inventory. As long as you'd have the, because it wouldn't matter the inventory, because it means you go and collect stuff, and it would give you a reason to go and collect stuff. It would give you a reason to go and collect more and more stuff, because you'd have to go and unlock certain things. So that was actually pretty cool. Look, the weapons in this game were actually really kind of cool. But if there's one other thing that I didn't think this should have been done, when you got the animal kills right, it showed you a plant symbol. Now, there are quite a few times in this game where I've gone up to that thinking it was a plant and realized it was a boar or a turkey or something. The plants and the animals should not have the same symbol on top of them for after you kill and collect them, right? Excuse me. There's been like in other games, there's been, you might call it a little like a wolf head system, like a head of a wolf. You know what I mean, like the robotic version. And that's been like a little symbol. Like I've seen that used in many games where that's used to signify an animal. And I think that'd be really good, because it would distinguish between them. Because otherwise, because if you're looking for stuff to collect, and there's a whole bunch of plants, there's a few animals, you're not gonna know the difference, especially in long grass. I got confused with that a few times. I didn't like that. It would have been very easy to change that, I would imagine. Look. As far as wow, mission variety was really damn good. Main missions, the side missions did not feel grindy. There was a lot of them you had to find, and they all felt very, very unique. I love that. There are games I play where some of the missions just like you think, oh, another mission to do this or do that. Even if you go after machines, it's the way the missions are set up, the way you interact with the characters, the NPCs, and the cutscenes, the discussions, the types of information they give you, the way they outline the mission. You know, how you may have to go about it, if it's killing even if there's two different missions, two different places, end up asking you to kill a bunch of Ravagers. It's complete, like the whole setup is different, and that makes it feel different even at the end, even if the goal of the mission is the same or very, very similar. It is absolutely amazing. I love that. I love how they make it feel so unique with all those sorts of things. They really do. Look, when it comes, I love the fact we had lots of choices. We could go different ways. I do really, and I'm pretty sure I'm right when I say this, but I love the fact that each of the characters had a preset personality. And the choices that you're given, it's not like you force a choice on them. You choose a choice. You could go intelligence, you could go compassion, or you could go aggressive. But you still use a wording that fits according to the personality of the character. Would it be Aloy, or reacting using Aloy's personality to that NPC or to that mission or whatever. It wasn't like you're forcing. It's like you're just putting some words and just using a character model. No, they actually had an essence, a soul to these characters that really had a very unique character about them. Even some who seemed similar, the way they dressed, the way they spoke, they really made sure each other feel really unique, and that was absolutely amazing. That really was. The ruins, I wish there were more ruins in this game. Even if there were smaller ones, so we get some more information. I get they laid it all on us, but it would have been nice to have some more ruins. But for what it's worth, the ruins we got to go were quite detailed. It really made you feel as if you're in there, in that spot. It didn't feel overly used in that respect, which is really good. But it was. They did give a lot of information, and there was a lot of, they made you feel. They made this thing that the distinction that, as much as that was futuristic, the old ones, where you was so far in the future as it turned out to be about 350,000 plus years, which is just insane. Incredible still. They also made you feel, but they also made that old ones feel archaic, but still that was futuristic, but still damn archaic. Even though the time that the game is sort of set in the way is by comparison to the old ones was medieval by comparison, if I want to put it that way, but they made it still look very futuristic in that regard, which is really kind of cool. I love the fact that it was the open world aspect. I do love open world games. They do take a bit longer to do, but because I love to just go and explore them, and I love this was open world, and it was done really well for an open world. They did a lot, so many of the right. They did so many of really damn good things that really make a really incredibly good, engaging and enjoyable story. I mean, even when I went out going hunting, it didn't, even if it was supposed to feel like a grind, because there's so many different areas you could do, different machines, all that sort of stuff, it made it enjoyable. I mean, okay, it might seem rhetoric, but it was because I knew there was a goal at the end. It's like, oh, I'm just doing it for the sake. It's like you got the thing where, oh, I need to go and collect these different types of things to go and get this upgrade, or because it'd be nice to have this for that trading purposes, which I think would be really cool. So there was always a goal in that, which made it really good thing. I did love the cutscene choices with you know, where it could, I like how they kept it simple to 3 different, where it was more aggressive, I think it's more compassionate, more intelligent, but they still kept it, they still kept the language according to the character of the person for Aloy, or how they reacted accordingly in each of the cutscenes for each of the missions, which is fantastic. You know, and I do love as well how when they went through them, you could talk, you could narrate the options, but I love it how the character actually they may not ask it in exactly the way it's written, but they emphasize it in their own wording, so you don't have to go on narrating. You can just let the characters speak for themselves, which is absolutely fantastic. As much as I love narrating it, it's nice to let the story do that job for you. I love the fact that there was multiple enemy types and they had to go all over the world, you know, and there was so many different varieties. Had to scan them. I don't think we scanned them up, I'm not really that bothered. The cauldrons were pretty incredible, very all seem quite different in their own way, even though some of the centrals, apart from the one with the eclipse, are in, the concept was the same, but the way I had to go about it was unique. Even though they seemed rhetoric, they were still enjoyable. You know, you still have to think, still to go about your own way. Amazing to look at. The graphics game were incredible. It was to go from the graphics and textures for The Last of Us Part 2 to go to all that, that same level of graphics and textures in Ghost of Tsushima, to go in and play a game that's 3 years old and still feels like it came out this year, so enjoyable. Oh wow, I could just stand, I could almost feel like I was there, which is what a game should do. It was incredible. The environment was just fantastic. The side quests, just, you know, they all felt very inclusive. You know, you could really enjoy them. Resources, I did like how diverse they were. You know, they had all things, you had to get used to them all, but they were still very, you didn't have to go out, you had to go and explore, but it was nice to see what everything was, and, you know, that was all used for variety. There's some little things we collected which I think are used for the DLC. I will be playing DLC, so don't worry about that. I really enjoy this game, so I'm going to. I think that there was a bit of a hint for maybe a future love romance there. I don't think Aloy was so interested, but they were kind of hinting that maybe it might change. This kind of smell. I did appreciate the fact that it didn't go there because it wasn't necessary, but I like the fact they hinted at it. So maybe for Forbidden West that might actually happen. It was interesting, the gameplay, the way it was done, how it wasn't too over the top, but there was enough complexity that you had to think and sometimes choose the way you did things, and sometimes you had to learn a bit. The hunting grounds are quite interesting, all quite different. Some of the characters there were actually a bit funny and some were annoying, and challenges were quite frustrating at times, but I like how unique they were. You know, I wish we'd gotten a bit better weapons, even though they were slightly unique for the lodge, but I get that, but it might be nice to have some slightly better ones, but that's just the way it goes. The pre-story was actually, it was nice the way they set it up. They went a little bit of gameplay, using the focus, introducing us to a bit about Tab, got to see Aloy, got to see, I've forgotten his name again from the very beginning of the game, but got to see Ross. I was a bit sad to see that Ross got killed off so early, but at the same time, I realized that I didn't want to have too many mainstream characters in the game, and sometimes you've got to kill one off. But the important thing is you remember him. I'm sorry, I meant to go back and see him, but we'll probably do it at some point. Might even go back after that journey. But he's one of those characters you remember. A great character in the game is one that you remember, even if they die off early. True enough. Ross was really interesting. I wish he hadn't died off, but he cemented his legacy in this series. He really did. Hades had, I put it like he had a real evil, a true brutal evilness to him. And I like how, because of the Greek, I know from playing AC Odyssey, how in the Underworld, I've seen kind of their representation of him. And but I love how sinister he sounded, that was really cool. Guy, I love the way they projected that very human nature style of her, but very calming, clinical, logical, but still very caring and very, you know, assured of her own self, which is always really good. And the old ones was pretty incredible. Farah was just an asshole. He got a bit of an interesting start where he a bit of a self-righteous type, but then at the end, he's just... he is a frickin'... He's an insatiable bastard asshole prick. That's the best way to put him. I'm sorry for the... Sona was so... I feel like Sona and Val were... You know, I love how the fact that Sona was... I understand how she wasn't totally the mother figure. She was very commanding in charge and a lot of respect. That was really good. So it's alright that she didn't have to present the medley because it wasn't... It's not really her job. As much as to be a mother, she commanded the respect. And that's how she had to appear, and she'd done all her life. Val was one of those people who learned how to be that way, but also to care and also to appreciate that, I think, which was actually kind of nice about that. Ted was a bit... He's one of those characters which you don't need to see a lot of to really get a sense of the type of character he is. You know, he's not a mainstream character. He's a bit like Pierre, I think her name was, and these other characters, Nakoa, all these other people who, you know, we had really good interactions with them, and you learn a lot about them in the short time that you did actually see them. And I think that's really cool how games do it like that. So that was really cool, all those minor characters. Olin, at the start you think he's a traitor, and then he grows on you a little bit depending on what choice you make. And I felt he deserved to earn it back, and I think that's respectable. Honestly, I do. He earned it back, you know, and that trust, all of it. I think he deserved to, honestly. I really think he did. Didn't have to, but you know, he made sure he did in his own way, and I think because he was forced to, I forgive him to an extent, you know. Talana, I loved having her in the game. Very, she's very lovable, you know, very self-assured, you know, she believes in a good way of doing things, a bit common sense, but is very much... She wants to go to the top, but do it in the right way and do it in the best way. Other than Assis, if I remember his name correctly, he was just a jerk. I get he's in tradition, but he should learn to wake the hell up, and he paid the price for it. Which is why Talana is so glad she became Sunhawk. She deserved it. I wish we'd been promoted to Hawk, honestly, for all we did, but it is what it is. I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. Erend was... Erend was one of those bit of a funny character at times, but he had that really good funny side, but he learned to be really he sobered up when he needed to, and he sorted himself out when he was required to, which is good, you know. And for someone who's the captain of the guard after his sister passed, which is important, you know. People like Blameless Marad, this game, one of those characters he didn't have to spend a lot of time with him to understand the type of person he was, but he did in his own way. He was doing good, even if it was seemingly suspicious. Avad is... We didn't need to see a whole lot of him, but we got only good vibes, even though he tried to hit on her, I think, a little bit. He's a good king who's only going to do great things going into the future, so I think that was really good seeing. Helis, like Bahavas, is just lost the damn plot. He was just completely overcome in their own ways, and they were interesting characters, don't get me wrong, but I'm glad that we got rid of them. I'm glad they left. I'm glad we got rid of them. They deserve to be killed off, but they're very intriguing characters, and they really cemented themselves in the story in their own way, which is excellent. You know, it really was. silence. He's too obsessed with knowledge and too sure of himself and too cocky. But at the same time, I get the feeling like we haven't seen the last of him. I think, and I don't know, but I get the feeling we haven't seen the last of him yet. But it was really incredible. I don't know where that Bashar Mati, whatever his name was, you get to see. I don't know what role he played in, whether he was a security guard or one of them worked on Zero Dawn. Maybe someone can clarify that for me in the comments. I'd like to know that. But he was actually Sans is just, you never really knew his intentions, and when he finally did, you know, you could understand, but at the same time you think, dude, you're way too cocky, you're way too obsessed with knowledge, just settle the hell down, just accept it when it's not always about you. Aloy was a very lovable character. You know, she was very good personality, you know, even if she wanted to be aggressive, all that. She still did it in a way that made that you understood why she was doing it. You know, you know, very compassionate, she could act extremely intelligent. You know, she reacted really well to the characters and a really damn good character base with her. And I'm so pleased they're going to have her in the next game as the main protagonist, I'm pretty certain, yeah. So, that, I'm looking forward to playing. I'm looking forward to playing as her in the Frozen Wilds. That would be absolutely awesome. It really will be, honestly. Man, this game, I'm just... Zero Dawn was one of those things that you hear one thing, and when you hear the truth about it, as mind-boggling as it is, you get why they did it. And considering there was no other options, considering it was Pharaoh's own stupidity, because he's just obsessive with his own industry, you know, and the fact that he decided to pull a kill switch and everything, and decided to be an asshole, he led to his own stupid downfall, where everyone else just goes, Select Group is trying to save the goddamn human race. Like, dude. But Zero Dawn was one of those over-the-top expectations, which, in its own way, you can understand, but at the same time, you're like, wow, holy shit, that's incredible. You know, just like, you know, when they see what every unique part of this game was. So, I'm going to skip this. So, should take us to the post-credit scene. Here we are. No, don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it! You idiots! No, dude, oh. Whoa, how the hell is Hades still alive? No, how is he still alive? Not possible, not possible! I bloody knew we ain't seen the last of that asshole! No way!
Hello, old friend. Remember me?
Oh my god.
We've still so much to discuss. So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Good god, they're going to a bloody Horus. You're shitting me. Jesus Christ. Gotta be kidding me right now. Bloody hell. Ah, that's annoying. Oh god. Shit. Oh, wow. I had a feeling there was something about him. I can't believe... I even pointed out, he's so too obsessed with himself. Ironically enough, with what that Bryn guy said, that shaman, with the whole thing of Forbidden West, he's going to take Hades probably to the Forbidden West. Oh my god, that's going to be a hell of a showdown. I don't get how Hades wasn't killed though. Maybe someone can explain. I'm personally a bit bewildered by that, to be honest. The state has been restored just before looming shadow. Prior to the fun about bringing keep all the experiences you need at the dead. Okay, cool. Right, cool. Now there was a couple of things, assuming that they're all there. Repaired. Raptor plans to start. Yes. Oh, I'll tell you what it is. I reckon they're gonna be repaired in the DLC. Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense. So, go to what the hell? Oh, it's one of these stupid things. Okay. Oh, well. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll end it here. And, yeah, so when we start for the DLC, I'm not sure which way this is going to work. I might go here for the DLC. First thing we'll do is check in with Rost's grave. And then we'll start the DLC, The Frozen Wilds. But anyway, and end it here. Thank you all for watching so much. I've really enjoyed it. I'm glad I played this game. I hope you have all enjoyed it. Thank you for all the support you've shown on this series and all the other series. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. Again, I hope you've all enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. Especially in this, I'll see. If you don't watch the DLC, then thank you so much. I'll see you next time for a brand new Let's Play. If you're sticking around, I'll see you next time. The beginning of the DLC, The Frozen Wilds. Take care, everyone.